You're coming in today, so what can I do for you, sir?
I'm having like a little bit of pain, or I feel like an obstruction under my right shoulder blade, in between there and like my spine. Also, my hips feel like unaligned. I got the deviated septum from my broken nose.
Yeah, I can see already. It's like leaning towards this way.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, with this mid back and the shoulder thing, how did that start?
I had a friend try to crack my back, and then he put me down, and I went to go turn away, and he like lifted me again and did it, and then I've felt something like obstructing ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a problem. That's why we don't recommend people to do that, and especially, well, now you know why.
Yeah.
So clearly, this is a back crack that gone wrong over here. So we'll investigate what's going on there, and based on what you describe in terms of shoulder, I feel like right between or underneath the shoulder blade itself.
Yeah.
Right. So the scapula. So it sounds like one of the wrists may have popped out. So we're gonna investigate that. Can you mind turning around for me, please? I want to take a look. Do you feel it most on the right side?
Yes.
See, I feel this over here. This is all swollen right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's right about where it is.
So you got another one. It's not so bad, but another one right over here as well. This rib. Let me mark these fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, it's... So these rib heads, that's what I'm feeling right over here. They popped out, so we'll take a look over there. Okay, let's clue in. What's been going on in the hips?
Well, I don't know. I used to skateboard a lot when I was younger, so I don't know if that has something to do. I just noticed recently that, I don't know, one hip felt a little bit higher, and I was doing like exercises, and I felt it like pop. So I mean, I just figured, I don't know, it seemed like it was unaligned.
Okay, well, we'll take a look at that one as well. We'll start off with this deviated septum here. Which nostril you notice you could breathe better, and which one?
The left is like really open, and the right is like almost shut, it feels. I feel like I get like relief just from like the steam room, basically. And that's probably why I can breathe through it.
Got it. And how did that happen?
I got punched in the nose. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Alright,
yeah,
so
really.
we'll see what we do to help you with those.
Alright.
Okay. So piecing everything together in terms of history, you turn around and says, okay, you pretty much got someone trying to do a standing back crack on you, okay, and then did it twice while you were twisting. Okay. So that gives me an idea. It says, okay, I'm imagining your spine in the full dimensional space over here. Okay. More like when you turn and rotate it, it's like this and this. You know what I'm saying? This one rotated this way and this one rotated this way. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? They kind of wrung your neck like this one, like a rag, like get your rag that way. So because this rib over here is protruding, sticking out on here, this one's sticking that way. So that's why I say this one's sticking out this way, this one over here is sticking out that way. All right. So I want to trace it all the way straight down, see what else is going on with that damage. But in addition to, your body gets some defense mechanisms, all right? And it's trying to stabilize something that's incredibly unstable over here due to trauma. So basically what's going on is this: I want this thing in proper alignment over here, normal. I don't want to see this thing, because the liquid ball bearing is smack in the middle, I don't want to see it get damaged and then the structure itself shifts out of alignment like this. You can rotate to the right or to the left, tilt to the left or tilt to the right, or tilt backwards like this. Okay, so I'm going to check on you in a moment, right? How is the three-dimensional pivoting method of this liquid ball bearing? Now, once it gets knocked out of alignment and it starts irritating that nerve, your body does two defense mechanisms. Number one is trying to cause some of these muscle spasms, because if you're like tilted like this way, what's going to happen? All the muscles over here says, okay guys, let's try to bring this head back into normal alignment as such. Okay. Another thing is, that's where the muscle spasm is going to be. So I'm going to feel for you this muscle spasms, and this is pretty evident over here, all on the right side. These are firing like crazy, trying to stabilize here, and then you got quite a bit of muscles firing here on this side, trying to stabilize this one over here, and then you got some muscles firing on this side over here, and then we're tracing up to your neck. See, along the right side is firing as well. So we got that part. Another component is, okay, since it's become a little more unstable and moving more than it should, your body engages that defense mechanism where it's now introducing fluid, that inflammatory response, where it's trying to like act like an airbag, try to keep it a little more stable along with the muscle spasms. So it's gonna feel like some water beds over here. See, and when I trace it down here, see, it just sinks. There's this pitting edema right there. Okay. We'll keep on tracing it down. See, here you got another one right there. Middle right there. You see, you got a mild bump here, another bump here. So I'm going to mark this one and mark that. And you got a lot of muscle spasms and try to stabilize, protect something here. And you got this pitting edema right there. So next up, we're going to do is we're going to start scanning your spine with this instrument over here. And this helps confirm a level where there's an inflammatory response that we need to investigate closer. So we already uncovered those two spots that correlates along with those ribs. And we have another spot on the lower back. And then on to the left right there. So since it's been here for quite a while, it's very small. You have one point to the right there. Now the next thing what I'm doing is I'm overlaying all that data we just acquired over here, and also I'm overlapping with the X-ray that we took over here, and I'm creating that three-dimensional map in my mind what your spine is doing. First thing we do is we're checking your foundation over here. Okay, it's not too bad at all. Okay, and I understand that you were talking about this. Okay, your hips pop from time to time, so that's what I'm going to investigate. And you have this possibility I see here with the inferior fifth lumbar. This, if the nerve's pinching here, it may cause that excessive popping and crepitus for the hips. And see this right here? How's that? Tender?
Yeah, a little bit.
But it's not too crazy fun there either. So, and that correlates along with the swelling over here, that speed bump, the bleeding over here, and it's not moving too well. So that fifth lumbar, that's a candidate to address. Now let's check how everything your spine's pivoting, moving. Right there. Okay, this is a big one here. This is not moving at all. This is like a brick wall. Let's check. Tilt. See your body, see, pivots here. See, there's that break. It just doesn't move too well on two spots actually. Yeah, actually you got another rib head here actually. You got a third one. Let's check this one. Yep. It's subtle. So we'll identify that one. And usually with these little fellows over here, it can be very subtle, it can be overlooked over here, but this one here, that's clearly in trouble. Same thing with this one over here. This is not pivoting too well either. Right there. Okay. Feel that knot right there?
Yeah, I felt something.
Yeah. It's this one over here. This is not pivoting, moving too well. So why this is important? Because this nerve goes all right down here to your shoulder blades over there. So we definitely want to try to closer look on that one and see how that nerve is working. Piecing everything all together, what we uncovered during the examination. Right? As I explained briefly, there's that inferiority. This, I want to see this like a regular curvature. It should follow along the line. But this bone right over here, Instead of just moving along like this, it just made a sudden turn like this, going way backwards. So if you're like suddenly way backwards like this, what's gonna happen? Well, you can't walk this way.
No.
Your head, the two gyroscopes gotta level your head like this and center it, right? So it's putting all that excessive pressure over here. It doesn't take much where your body like lifted you up and try to pop your back twice over there. You know, that's where it caused some other dynamic changes going on. Where sort of like, as we mentioned before, it's like that.
Yeah.
Like washing, you know, wringing a washcloth over there. So when we start off with this one over here, when it goes backwards like this, as you can see, tunnel collapse, the nerve, you don't need a microscope, it's this big, it starts to get irritated. And that nerve is the one that's going to both your right and left hips. So if you have not much traffic and flowing of information to either of those hips, what's going to happen? The hips themselves have a hard time staying put, and a little motion, you know, get a little, you know, little popping noises. Now let's point out to the next part. Okay, when I'm following through, I'm looking for these ribs. Okay, I want them symmetrical. I want the same height. But looking at this fellow over here, okay, that dorsal, you can see over here it's wedged this way. See that? Everything, all these bones here, they're pretty much leveled until I get to here, and it's just gapped open like this. I'm also seeing, see this over here? Look at the height over here. Look at the height over here. It's much more wider on the left-hand side versus the right. So there's that ninth dorsal. Okay, that rib, you're feeling part of it. And then when we go trace up a little higher up, then we see opposite wedge over here. Now it's gapped open like this way. And the same thing with this rib head as well. It's also in trouble as well. So this one over here and the other one over there, we gotta tackle these fellas, because that's what happened to all that, you know, that impact what your body did for you over that one. Okay. Now, because of this instability and when your body starts twisting around, I'm seeing another compensation right over here. Okay, and it gapped wide open on number 3 over here. It's also angling this way. So I'm going to investigate. I'm going to see, after we address everything below here, how is this compensating? I'm hoping for it to recompensate and then recenter over there. But the way I see this, it's going to be 50-50. Possible may need to it, may not. And tracing up to here, see this one over here, number 5, is also, it's gapping open this way. Why? Because your head, it did this way. And it can't stay this way. So that's why your head had the gap open this way. That's why it's gapping open this way over here. I'm going to see if we need to address that one as well after we address these major fellows over here. And next component we talked about is, okay, deviated septum. Okay, I do see your nose. I don't see it straight. But what happened is, see this one over here is bulging and it's moving to the left. Yeah. And you also have all the sinus congestion. See this over here? I want to see it nice and, you know, a little more darker black like this. Okay. I don't want to see it too white like this. That tells me, no, you got a lot of pus and, you know, congestion stuck in these sinuses over here. So yeah, we got to get to work working on those fellows over there. Okay. So that's what the whole entire shebang is going to be. Let's get to work.
All right.
Okay, let's set this. Let's take care of this inferiority first, right there, and let it drop. Relax the belly. Here's a nice, beautiful set. Okay, coming up, sir. Walk around, see how you like it. Give it a try. How's the mid back and the shoulders? Do you experience anything different there?
I don't know. It felt good, the crack, I guess.
I warned you.
It's okay. Right there, right. There's one. See, when we're checking that rib, see this rib can calm down quite a bit. See, this rib calmed down quite a bit too. See, this rib is calming down a little bit. It's still swollen there, but we'll take care of this poor fellow right here. Yeah, gonna be right at this angle right there. Okay, this rib did not go all the way in, so I gotta set this one as well. A little more. Next, there we go. There's that fella. There it is. Okay, come on up, sir. Okay, well, walk a little bit more. Okay, go ahead. Give the shoulder and the mid back a try. See how you like it. Tell us what's different in there.
Feel a little loose, I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
What was giving you the trouble? You mentioned about like.
It was like, oh yeah, when I reached this way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think. Yeah, like the obstruction, I don't feel as much. Or maybe it's just like it's gone, but maybe I feel like the inflammation's still there a little
It
bit.
is swollen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set that shoulder blade in there in a moment.
It was more like when I twisted, I would feel it. Yeah, I think maybe a tiny bit.
Tiny bit left in there, right?
Yeah.
How much improvement would you say from now, from before to now?
At least maybe 60%, 70%.
Nice. All right, let's get the rest of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically with the shoulder over here, the shoulder blade, okay, the main function is we want to see this thing moving. Okay, it has to glide over all these ribs over here. Okay, it needs to glide this way, glide this way, glide this way, and this way as well. All right. Now, if there is a speed bump, which is the rib, it's supposed to be like this. All these ribs in place glide like this, right? But if one of them goes like this, up, it goes like a speed bump, all right? And I'll show it to you, sir, in a moment what I'm talking about. For now, we're gonna set this right over here, and we're gonna set it a little more. Gotta get this one more angle. There it is. Come on up, sir. Okay, turn around. Okay, go ahead, do that turning thing. How's that now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you couldn't see before, but what I'll try to explain is this. So if we act like this is like the ribs over here, the shoulder blade, it needs to glide over. All pivot, all directions there. But if one of the ribs is like this, a little more elevated, like a speed bump, has a hard time gliding.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you may feel like this. Oh, wait a second, what's going on? I can't move it as well. You can't do a hook or, so on and so forth. So it doesn't move as well. So that's why finally, after we realign the vertebrae, close that wedge down, set the rib, then we can finally set that shoulder blade. Okay? All right, let's check everything else. Boom!
Whoa.
Yeah, see, now that is moving your fifth cervical, so we don't have to adjust that one. Okay. Walk around, sir. See your level. Okay, go for it. Try the shoulder.
Yeah. Feel much better.
So you said 65% from last time.
Yeah, maybe like 80% now, a little bit better.
Yeah, that's great. Keep working on it. Okay. Grand finale. Crudo deviated septum.
Oh, yeah.
All right, go ahead. Touch your nostrils first. Let's block off one at a time. Yeah, there's the right one. There's the left. Okay.
Yeah.
So first things first, we're gonna check. Yeah, see, it's not moving this way at all. So we're gonna set it real hard. A little more. Good. See, nasal bone's not moving that way either. So we're gonna set this. Oh man, this is really tough. There it is. Good, now it's pivoting. Next are our sinuses. See, it's all clogged up. Frontal sinuses, yeah, these aren't moving either. Sphenoid. Yeah, this is a little more. There it goes. Now I'll give it a try, sir.
I mean, I think I feel some relief for sure, but
I can hear the difference.
yeah.
How much improvement would you say to that right nostril right now?
Maybe at least like 50%, 40%, yeah, 50%.
That's a good start right over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's the thing though. You still have, as I showed you on the X-ray, you have a lot of congestion in all those sinuses.
Yeah.
It's gonna take 36 to 48 hours for all that junk to drain out. If you want to speed up the process, you're already doing a steam bath, okay? So it's perfect, or in the sauna or whatever it is. Breathe all those vapors in. Just block out your left nose and just breathe all those vapors in.
Sometimes.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you can drain more of that garbage and all that stuff out. Whatever you do, don't swallow. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, sir. We're all set.
All
All right. We'll see you next time.
All right, thank you.
Well, you're very welcome.